Yo guys, what is going on? And today we are doing Premier League predictions. Now last week I missed out, because I was basically unwell, so I missed out on last week's Premier League predictions. I was meant to go up against Macca, but I'm going up against him in a couple of weeks. So last time I took on Ollie, and Ollie actually did quite well for himself, 16 points on the current table. So we have got we have got a bit of a comeback from the guests because they have been quite bad recently. But today we have got a new challenger, Shannon, a Nottingham Forest fan. How are you, Shannon?
Right, thank you.
Decent. Oh, so energetic. Right, so Premier League predictions, you know how it goes. 3 points for the correct result and 5 points for the correct score. How do you think you'll get on?
Superbly.
Decent. Right, so we start off with West Ham United against Fulham. Now, didn't obviously play in the FA Cup last week because we got knocked out a couple of weeks before. But we played against Palace 2 weeks ago, drew 1-1. It was a fairly attacking game, but sort of changed in the second half, and we sort of lost it for a jammy deflection. So despite this is the reverse fixture of us playing Fulham in December, a 2-0 victory. So I'm going to go for a 3-1 West Ham win. Shannon?
3-0 West Ham win.
3-0 West Ham win. Alright, decent. So next up we have Cardiff against Watford on the other Friday night game. Watford progressed into the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. Did they? Yes, because they're playing against Crystal Palace. Oh god. Yep. So I'm going to go for an easy Watford win. I think Cardiff's decent run of form is going to sort of dip now, so I'm going to go for a 2-0 Watford win.
I'm going for a 1-0 Cardiff City win.
1-0 Cardiff City win. Right, so moving on to Saturday, we start off with Burnley against Tottenham at Turf Moor. So Tottenham beat Leicester City 3-1 a couple of weeks ago. While Burnley, they beat Brighton & Hove Albion 3-1. Despite Burnley getting some points on the board, I don't think they're going to do so this week. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw.
You stupid!
So you don't think Burnley are going to get any points on the board, but you think they'll draw?
I've fucked it. I've absolutely fucked it. I've absolutely fucked it.
Leave that bit in.
Oh, for fuck's sake, I've absolutely buggered it. So while I don't think Burnley are going to get any points on the board, I'm going to go for... Oh, fuck's sake. Why did I say wow? So what? Oh, for fuck's sake. Every fucking week I have something that buggers me over. So while Burnley did beat Brighton, I don't think that they're going to get anything out of the game at Wembley. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 Tottenham win.
I'm going for a 1-0 Tottenham win. 1-0
Tottenham win. Okay, so we move on to Newcastle against Huddersfield. Now, both teams didn't play in the FA Cup. The last time that Newcastle played, they conceded a 94th minute equaliser against Wolves. And Huddersfield lost against Arsenal. Huddersfield lost against Arsenal 2-1. It's going to be a bit of a cagey affair. It's sort of that relegation dogfight. However, I do think Huddersfield are going to get their first win in quite a while. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 Huddersfield win.
I'm going for a 2-0 Newcastle United win.
2-0 Newcastle win, yeah. Right, so Wolves against Bournemouth. Now, Wolves, as I said, they had that late equaliser against Newcastle and also won in the FA Cup against Bristol City at the weekend as well. Bournemouth lost 3-0 to Liverpool at Anfield a couple of weeks ago. This is going to be another one where I think it's going to be another cagey affair. It's all on that mid-table area. So I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw at Dean Colton. I don't really go for a lot of draws, but I'm actually going for quite a few this week.
I'm going for 3-0 Wolverhampton Wanderers win.
3-0 Wolves win. Decent. Right, so we move on to our last Saturday game, which is Leicester City. Leicester City against Crystal Palace. Now, Crystal Palace obviously ventured into the next round of the FA Cup after beating Doncaster, while Leicester, as I said earlier on, lost to Tottenham at Wembley. While Palace are doing quite well, and while I did get a point against West Ham, I do think that Leicester will just about walk away with this one, so I'm going to go for a 2-1 Leicester City win.
I'm going for a 1-1 draw.
Right, okay, so we move on to our 2 Sunday games before we move on to our 2 sort of special games, if you will. So we start off with a big one, Manchester United against Liverpool. Now, Manchester United beat Chelsea 2-0 in the FA Cup the other day, while Liverpool, as I said, beat Bournemouth 3-0. This could go anyway, but I think Solskjaer, despite that loss against PSG, I think he's going to want to bounce back and get a big win against a big side. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 or 2-1. I'm going to go 2-1 Man United win.
I'm going to go for a 3-2 Liverpool win.
3-2 Liverpool win. Right, and for our final Premiership game of the weekend, we have Arsenal against Southampton. Now, Arsenal, how did they get on? Yeah, Arsenal beat Huddersfield in the Premier League a couple of weeks ago, while Southampton, how did Southampton get on?
Lost us, Cardiff.
They lost at Cardiff, yes, thank you. Southampton lost at Cardiff. I think
they lost at home, but to Cardiff.
I think Emery's team just going to walk this. So I'm going to go for a 4-0 Arsenal win.
Are Arsenal at home?
They are at home.
I'm going for a 2-0 Arsenal win.
Right. So you probably noticed that we've done only 8 Premier League games. That is because there are 2 games which are going to be called off. That is Everton against Man City, which was played a couple of weeks ago. Manchester City won that. And Chelsea against Brighton, which is going to be played in a couple of weeks, I think. But that is because it is the Carabao Cup final this weekend. So instead, we are going to be doing that game. And also, because Shannon is a Nottingham Forest fan, I thought it'd be nice to and include a big game, a big derby, which we'll do after the Carabao Cup. So, obviously, everything's going against Chelsea at the moment. Sarri's getting everything wrong. The fans are against him. It seems that the dressing room is against him after that whole Callum Hudson-Odoi stuff in the FA Cup, where he wasn't subbed on, and that sort of picture was born. And yeah, I don't think I can see it going any other way than a Manchester City win. So I'm going to go for 2-0. I think it's going to be a much nicer result on Chelsea than what it was in the league a couple of weeks ago. So, fucking hell. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 Manchester City win. Shannon?
I'm going to go for a 3-0 Manchester City win.
Okay. Right, so for our final game, we have a championship game. I know that I said this is Premier League predictions, but as obviously we've got 2 games missing, I thought it'd be nice to Shannon and sort of get her intrigued with this. So Derby County are away to Nottingham Forest on the Monday night. Shannon, I'll let you take it from here because obviously it's your club.
And obviously the much bigger club out of the 2, aka the red side, Trent side massive, are going to walk out the worthy winners. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 Forest win.
2-0 Forest win, alright.
Yep. And right. Lewis Graben and Joe Lolly are going to be the goal scorers as well.
Right. Yeah. I've been to see both teams this season. Nottingham Forest, we went for the League Cup tie against Burton Albion. Obviously, wasn't your greatest performance, but obviously it didn't showcase what your potential is throughout the season. It was a very unfair showing on my part. Derby have been pretty inconsistent this season, as Championship clubs do get, especially if they're in like that top half of the table and they're chasing for promotion or a playoff. Then they just go through like that phase where none of the results go for them that they should be winning, but it just happens in the Championship and the Football League in general. I can't really pick a winner. I'm stuck between the 2, so I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. I think it's going to be a fairly exciting game, and I'm thinking 2-2. No, you think I'm wrong?
Yeah, not getting any points.
Youch. Right, so you have got my predictions here, and you have also got Shannon's predictions there. How do you think that your predictions are going to fare against mine?
All I care about is the Monday night one, which obviously I'll beat you in, so it's all
Alright, okay. Yeah, so obviously, usual, like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. See ya.